We were discussing Trump before he got elected for his first term.
What would be your first question to Trump?
When did you join politics?
The same Yudhvir Jaswal interviewed 5 prime ministers. Did the same Yudhvir Jaswal ever had to face racism?
Racism, yes. Former Prime Minister Stephen Harper and former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. I was the only journalist who interviewed both of them during the 2015 federal elections.
The president of the strongest country in the world, Donald Trump,
for President of the United States,
accuses the main media houses of being biased. How do you expect an ordinary man to trust media?
Great question, by the way. If you're not really fair and balanced and objective, you're not media.
Everyone talks of these big words about honesty, principles. Can you honestly report against the political leader who's paying your bills?
I will never join politics. I'm not going to join your party.
No, you offered her?
Yes.
Anyone ever approached you with sponsorships or other means just for you to not speak on something or soften your story a bit?
Yes. I was.
News channel in COVID where they were showing disturbing images of dead bodies, and the title was, "Only on our channels you see these dead bodies first." In the race to report first, has media lost its humanity?
For me, what is my religion? What is my dharma? It is journalism.
Don't you need money? I mean, a flop actor makes a lot more money than a well-set journalist. How do you expect the young generation to take this path?
I think there is a decent money to be made.
The most misunderstood personality you've ever interviewed?
I would say Shah Rukh Khan.
In the studios of Soul Talk with Bhav, let's welcome
Enough is enough.
Who do you trust anymore? The politicians say media is biased. The media says politicians are misleading public. The influencers say journalism is dying, and the journalists say influencers are spreading misinformation. So who's telling us the truth? To answer these questions today, we have in our studio someone who's been in this world for over 2 decades and has seen it all. From Justin Trudeau to Narendra Modi, from Salman Khan to Shah Rukh Khan, he has interviewed everyone. Not only has he established his own name in the media market, but also established Canada's biggest and most successful South Asian media network. But today, we are not going to only ask him about his success story, but I want my viewers to know how the media business works. Who should we trust? What shapes the news? And is there any scope left in current era to have an independent and fair media? In the studios of Soul Talk with Bhav today, let's welcome the CEO and the group editor of Y Media Network, Mr. Yudhvir Jaswal. Mr. Jaswal, welcome to Soul Talk with Bhav.
Thank you, Bhavji. Thank you so much for inviting us. And first of all, I must compliment beautiful studio. And as the name says, Soul Talk. Thank you so much.
Sir, Soul Talk name Galla Rodiya Mundiyan the, and you've been, I'm sure, to multiple studios across the world. And respect, if it's coming out from you about us, our studio, it means a lot.
Yeah, honestly, I speak of my mind. I would call spade a spade. And you're right, I've been to many studios in Canada, in England as well. But I think this is the best, not one of the best. This is the best studio I've ever been anywhere across the globe. And the vibe, it's amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Yudhvir ji, it's been over 2 decades. You call politicians, you call influencing people, you call celebrities. You have given them tough time and given them difficult questions. Before we start, what is that first question you think and you're hoping that I should not ask you?
I think there's no taboo at all, no question that you can't ask. Please feel free to ask. And when I'm on that chair, as you just mentioned, I've interviewed prime ministers, I've interviewed Shah Rukh Khan to Diljit Dosanjh to Salman. There wasn't any time that I gave them the questions beforehand. So I wouldn't expect you giving me any questions, or we won't rule out any questions. So please feel free.
Thank you. Yudhvir ji, before I come to what is media now, I want you to take me to the world when you started. The world where South Asian population was less in numbers, no voice, and absolutely no political influence. So what triggered in Yudhvir to make a South Asian media establishment, which eventually you thought would be so powerful at the time when our community was fighting even to get heard?
Yeah, we all read a lot about this. We have to find out why. When I say why, of course, it relates to IBD as well. But this is WHY. Why? What is my why? And what do I have to do? I did my engineering, mechanical engineering, and why I did mechanical engineering, I couldn't understand biology, and then electronics. I said, little did I realize that yes, I would have to study, linear circuit theory and all those, topics which are related to electronics as well. Anyways, so after finishing my engineering in India, I didn't have much of interest. But while I was doing my engineering, I started reading The Hindu, and then I started reading all other newspapers, Times of India, you name it. I would, on an average, read 4 to 5 newspapers a day. Still never thought that I would be doing media. And here I come to Canada. I did work as an engineer here. But waking up early, going to the job, it was a good paying job. But then I thought, no, why? What is my why? What do I have to do? And I've always said this thing very early on. It was because I'm a very strong supporter of clarity of mind. I would say 90% of our life, will get right if we pick two things right. One is our career, and second is our life partner. So then I thought, no, one fine day I just quit, and I would read papers here as well, watch TV, and that's why I quit my engineering career and started media. And you're right, it was very difficult. Not many people would understand the South Asian demographic that was growing here in Canada, but it was very challenging.
Was it your calling? You said why?
Yeah.
Or was that any incident which triggered you to do it?
I would say neither one of those. It wasn't a calling, because as much as there is something called destiny, which is okay. And this is another question. So talk, is everything destined, or is it a calling? Is it, or is it our karma, or we make choices? If everything is predestined, then is there any free will or not? Anyways, that's a different topic. I think I would answer my why, because I wanted to make sure that I do something in life which would make me happy, and of course, which would be driven by my passion. So that every day when I wake up early in the morning, I don't have to say, why am I doing this? And that peace, that happiness, that passion, I found in media. That's it.
And that doesn't come if you do not have the word you used, passion, if it doesn't have the discipline and it doesn't have the respect. Because just before the show, when the team was setting the mic, you said, oh, I worship this. Like when I am playing and my bat gets down, I just kiss my bat. So that is your love and respect for this mic, which has given you everything, I guess.
Sure. For me, what is my religion? What is my dharma? It is journalism.
This is religion for you, but be honest and tell me when you started, or even till quite late. Were you called a journalist by mainstream media, or only as ethnic journalist?
It depends upon who's listening to you. So there was a section, because cricket wasn't covered here in Canada. So there was a section in the community, they would say, oh, what? We love you. You cover cricket. So this guy covers cricket. That was my introduction. Then some others would say, midweek newspaper as a print journalist. From mainstream media, I was invited very early on, and mainly on the topics which were related with our ethnicity, in particularly the South Asian community. But then they realized maybe that yes, you can also cover other topics as well. So I was almost 2 decades ago, I was covering federal budget, provincial budget on mainstream TV channels. Very interestingly, when Trump for the election before his first term, I'm talking about 2015, I was on CBC, it's a national television. I was on CBC discussing geopolitics. And right besides me, there was another journalist from another big channel. Then we had another reporter from London, UK. And we were discussing Trump before he got elected for his first term and how Hillary's doing, how Trump is doing. And we were also talking about Middle East, Asia. So early on, yes, I was brought in. I did cover the 2008, terror attack that happened in India, 26, the Lahore, and I'm sure you would know that because you have deep interest in cricket. When the Sri Lankan players were attacked in 2009 at the Gaddafi Stadium, and again I covered for CBC.
Well, I never thought I'll ask this, but I'm really itching to ask this because you said the Yudhvir Jaswal, who was termed as a journalist who covers cricket, the same Yudhvir Jaswal interviewed 5 prime ministers. Did the same Yudhvir Jaswal ever had to face racism here?
Racism, yes, but that's okay. What I would say, you have to fight that in your own way. I can't play the victim card with due respect, I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Because then I feel, of course, I mean, we could face racism in India as well, in a different manner. Because then there are classes in India, there could be different class, then, so many other challenges as well. So here also, yes, I did face, but not in media, by the way. No.
Not in media?
No, not in media. Before that, maybe yes.
But let's say all the journalists of different countries are sitting together, or here different communities are sitting together to cover a national event.
Yeah.
You were never given a stepmother treatment?
No, I won't say that. No. Why? Because what I've seen, as I told you, like I would go on CBC, imagine Globe and Mail. I'm a journalist. They would put me on their front page. Toronto Star interviewed me. Globe and Mail put me on front page. Then CBC Radio, Rogers. There was a time when Rogers launched me on 2 different networks, Rogers TV and on Omni Television as well. So I had 2 slots. Daily, I was the community producer. I was the lead host. I think this is for all those who are looking to make their careers in media. Never think about anything can defy you. Of course, we could face challenge. I could have faced challenge. I'm not saying there's no ideal world. So when you're that confident, when the terror attack happened in India, 26/11, I know while I was being wiped out, no, this is national channel. I'm talking about a very sensitive issue, a terror attack. It was a developing story. It's still evolving. I mean, it was very early hours. The 26 terror attack has happened in Europe on CBC. And while I was being mic'd up, one of the producers, he said, "Oh, who do you think it is?" So I thought, okay, who do you think it is? I said, yeah, let's start and then discuss. And then he could gauge that, yeah, he's very confident. Then, yeah, let's start. And I said, yeah, it could be Al-Qaeda or some splinter group there, and this will definitely find some connections to Pakistan. I said that very early.
You said that?
I said that very early on, to the point that here in ethnic media, I got an invite and they were saying, how could you clearly link it to Pakistan? I said, I've been following stories. I know this would be either Al-Qaeda or a splinter group, which eventually turned out to be Lashkar-e-Toiba, and it could have some sort of connection to Pakistan. I'm ready to discuss anywhere. Many of the mainstream journalists who are working as investigative reporters in mainstream today, they're my good friends. They really appreciate me and they say, "Oh, wow, you're doing a great job." And to the point that one day my wife, she said, "I think you're a genius." So so then I said, that gave me a lot of confidence. So I thought, yeah, I think so. But anyways, I don't drive on. But this is all that gives you that sort of confidence.
Well, I'm not sure if that gives you confidence, but it certainly gives you brownie points at home. Yudhvir, let's come to the current scenario. Politicians look for the access to your platform to reach South Asian population. It wasn't the same before. You don't have to chase them now to give exclusives. When do you think this change happened? Was there any interview in your life, or was it any elections when you think ki meri baari hai, mere ko lao?
You're right. And fast forward that to 2015. I think that was a tipping point for me. Why 2015? Because former Prime Minister Stephen Harper and former Prime Minister Trudeau, I was the only journalist who interviewed both of them during the 2015 federal elections. So, a prime minister coming to your studio or a prime minister giving an interview, it's great. So I think that was a tipping point, and that's the time we clearly realized that yes, Loy Media, I think, must be doing something good.
And after that, it was the other way. Politicians were chasing you.
I won't say they're changing, but
For the lack of better words, I mean, they were like, okay, if you need to reach South Asian population, this is the platform.
yeah, I mean, I've lost count how many times I've interviewed Justin Trudeau, I mean, as a sitting prime minister, to the point that when our former prime minister Justin Trudeau, he went to India, of course, a lot of controversy. So Justin Trudeau, our former prime minister, he was supposed to give interviews in India. NDTV lined up a journalist, I think Vishnu Shom, and then there were so many others outlets who wanted to do an interview with our former prime minister Justin Trudeau because of the whole, Canada India thing, the Khalidan and so many other things. But then he didn't give interview to anybody, no CBC, no CTV, nobody. And then we got an email. From the prime minister's office that prime minister would like to come to you.
Wow.
And he'll be doing an interview with you for 1 hour, and you can take your own time. So yes, we had prime minister coming, and I asked him quite freely, I mean, what was your discussion with the prime minister Modi about relationship with India, the Khalistan issue and all that.
Buddy, you just mentioned about the audience, right? And I think what matters the most for the audience, and I think this is the biggest challenge for the media houses right now, credibility. I've followed your journey and you've earned the credibility.
Thank you.
The question is, if the president of the strongest country in the world, Donald Trump, accuses the main media houses of being biased, you go to India, every night debates are paid debates. When the prime ministers and presidents are accusing the media of being biased, how do you expect an ordinary man to trust media?
Great question, by the way. And I think first things first, we always say media is the fourth pillar of any democracy. And I'm not here to judge anyone. I will not judge anyone. But just in case, if any of the media outlets, big or small, even like you have your own sphere of influence. You're in media too. So if at all, any media, they start taking sides, they're not fair, they're not objective in their reporting. With utmost respect, I'm saying, again, I'm not here to judge anyone. I don't think so you're a media anymore.
Buddy, I'm sorry, I would have to say that, pardon me, but everyone talks of these big words about honesty, principles, independent media, fair media. Everyone says that, but let's address the elephant in the room.
Sure.
If at the end of the day, you said I come from media as well, right? So media houses, they need sponsors, they need advertisers, they need access to exclusives. Put a hand on your heart and tell me, can you honestly report against the political leader who's paying your bills?
There are big corporate houses. So why media is not a corporate house? We're not a publicly listed company. I'm not saying that any media house which is a publicly listed company, they can all be, really swayed into one direction or the other. There are, if not billions, if not millions, there are thousands of journalists on this planet who would live and die for honest journalism. Thousands, if not millions. The number could be in millions as well. The number, we paint everyone by the same brush. Cyril Almeida, a journalist who did the Dawn League story from Pakistan. They put him on ECL, exit control list. You cannot leave Pakistan. He just did his job. As Dawn Leagues, he put out a story. And you know what he said? He said, don't worry, I'm sitting over here. I won't leave Pakistan. I've done a story against the establishment. That was, and everybody knows that, Dawn Leagues. We've been naming the journalists. So Cyril says, be my guest. Did he budge? No, not at all. There could be pressure. You could be taken off the air. Did that happen with me? Of course, I was taken off the air. You could be taken off the air. You would have very difficult financial times. I faced everything. I've been taken off the air on TV channels. I've been taken off the air on radio channels. Did I slog hard for the financial resources? Of course I did. When you have to pay the bills and there's not much, you are not left with money in the bank. So, but I think those are the things which make you stronger. You don't have to put your hand on your heart. You know that. Actually, that is what your soul is all about. And let me give you another example. They would openly endorse a political party. We see that. I don't want to name, that. And if there are 3 or 2 or whatever you want to say, or 4 major media outlets in print, so openly they will endorse.
Absolutely, it happens all the time.
So we would say, no, we cannot do that. Absolutely not. Now, their reasoning is, it's the management at the top which is endorsing a political party, but the editorial is independent. They're absolutely free to report or say whatever. But now this definitely begs the question: if the owners, they would endorse a certain political party, it doesn't add up. Doesn't add up. You're right. Whether they would endorse Republicans or the Democrats or the Liberals or the Conservatives, though they say never say never. I said I will never join politics. I don't need anything. No ticket. I'm not going to join your party. No ambition of becoming any senator or anything. No.
Were you offered one?
Yes, obviously the political. It's not that they would want that we would offer you something and use something in the media. No. And again, good question. 2 points on this one. First thing, if someone would dare to offer me something, the issue's with me.
You're giving a platform.
No. Then that means if somebody would dare to offer me something, I strongly believe that means they haven't realized about my integrity. Then the issue is with me. Maybe I have given them some room that, yes, you know what, you could offer me something. So with due respect, I'm saying it over here.
Has anyone ever approached you with sponsorships or other means just for you to not speak on something or soften your story a bit?
Yes. I was offered. Actually, I was not directly offered. One of my colleagues, he was told that, okay, this is the sort of budget we are offering you, and then maybe if you could be a little bit soft on this topic. And when this issue was brought with me, I just simply said that I don't want to talk to that person. As simple as that. So because I don't want to get into a discussion, that they're discussing this thing that yes, you shouldn't be covering this story or do not talk on this particular. Many of the sectors I'm talking. I'm not talking about any individual sectors. We do not take advertisement. Many sectors. We say, I mean, of course you could be.
Name one of them. The safest one.
Safest. Okay. I can name two. They're not in one. ਅਸੀਂ ਬਾਬਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਐਡ ਦੇ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਨਾ
Lovely.
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ second as much as I just met a gentleman and we might even work with him immigration section over there. So a lot of there are many good people in the immigration department, many people, but of course we don't know. We don't have that many resources, so it's better to be safe than sorry. We tell everyone very challenging for us.
So, Paddy, what are you doing different? You don't want me to generalize media channels. You're generalizing the immigration people.
No.
Because immigration and realtors, I mean, for our cricket clubs also, they are the biggest sponsors.
I'm not generalizing them. As I just mentioned, there are many good people, and I'm in discussions with one of a big immigration firm, and we might do business. And please don't make. I have many good friends who are immigration consultants. But we saw many challenges as well. So we don't have the resources to investigate or check or do our due diligence for everyone.
Before, Paddy, I go to my next question. You mentioned the first name. And let me ask this to you in Punjabi for our Punjabi viewers. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਾਬਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਐਡ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹੁਣ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਵਿੱਚ ਕ੍ਰਿਕਟ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਬਟ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਨੰਬਰ ਤੇ ਅਜੇ ਵੀ ਰਿਲੀਜਨ ਵਿਕਦਾ ਉਹ ਚੇਂਜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੁਣ ਤੇ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਰਿਲੀਜਨ ਵਿਕਣ ਲੱਗ ਗਿਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਾਬਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਐਡ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਂਦੇ
With ਬਾਬੇ I mean ਮੈਂ ਉਹ ਧਾਰਮਿਕ ਵਾਲੇ ਬਾਬੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਦੇਖੋ ਜਦੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਟਰੈਵਲ ਜਾਣਾ ਤੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਦਿਓ ਕਿ ਜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗਧੇ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ ਦਾ ਚੱਕਰ ਲਾਣਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਲਾਏਗਾ ਉਹ ਟਰਬਲ ਚ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਇਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਸੋਲੂਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਦੇਵੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਟਰਬਲ ਚ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਦਾ ਬੱਚਾ ਘਰ ਛੱਡ ਕੇ ਦੌੜ ਗਿਆ ਵਾਪਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜੀ ਬੱਚਾ ਘਰ ਛੱਡ ਕੇ ਦੌੜ ਗਿਆ ਵਾਪਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਲੜਕੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਜਵਾਨ ਲੜਕੀ ਘਰ ਛੱਡ ਕੇ ਚਲੀ ਗਈ ਨੌਕਰੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲ ਰਹੀ ਕੋਈ ਪਿਆਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਫੇਲ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਹਾਰਟ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਹੈ ਕਿਸੇ ਦਾ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਬੜਾ ਥੱਲੇ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਜੀ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਜੀ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਟੋਰਾਂਟੋ ਦਾ ਚੱਕਰ ਗਧੇ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਲਾਓ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਜੀ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਲਾਵਾਂਗਾ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਜਾਦੂ ਮੰਤਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਇੰਨੇ ਪੈਸੇ ਲੈ ਸੋਨੇ ਦੀ ਅੰਗੂਠੀ ਪਾ ਦੋ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੋਨੇ ਦੇ ਸੋ with due respect मैं again I don't want to generalize some of these people some of these people you're exploiting the vulnerable ਉਹ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਹੀ ਮਤਲਬ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬੜਾ ਕੀ ਪਾਪ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ ਇੱਕ ਗਲਤੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਗੁਨਾਹ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਗਲਤੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਗੁਨਾਹ ਹੈ ਸੋ ਉਸ ਗੁਨਾਹ ਦਾ ਭਾਗੀਦਾਰ ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਹੀ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਾਂਗਾ ਅਗੇਨ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਚੀਜ਼ ਉਹ ਕਹਿ ਦੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਜੱਜ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਬੁਰਾ ਬੋਲਣਾ ਔਰ ਕਿਸੇ ਦਾ ਬੁਰਾ ਕਰਨਾ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਬੜਾ ਕਰਮ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਜੱਜ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹਦਾ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਸਮਝਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਲਾਈਫ ਦੇ ਇੰਨੇ ਚੈਲੰਜਸ ਨੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਆਪਣੇ 1000 ਚੈਲੰਜਸ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਲਾਈਫ ਦੇ 1000 ਚੈਲੰਜਸ ਨੇ ਮੈਂ ਹਰ ਰੋਜ਼ ਇਹ ਸੋਚਦਾ ਕਿ ਕੱਲ 1000 ਸੀਗੇ 99 ਰੈਂਡ ਅੱਜ 990 ਮੈਂ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਬੈਟਰ ਹੋਵਾਂ ਇਵੋਲਵ ਕਰਾਂ ਕੁਛ ਅੱਜ ਭਵ ਜੀ ਕੋ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਨੇ ਕੁਛ ਅੱਜ ਨਿੱਕੀ ਜੀ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਐਸਾ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ ਮੈਂ I've never come across ਕਿੰਨੀ ਰੂਹ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਸ਼ਿੱਦਤ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਮੈਂ ਬੜਾ ਕੁਛ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੇ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ। ਯੁੱਧਵੀਰ ਜਸਵਾਲ ਜੀ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਬਿਗੇਸਟ ਮੀਡੀਆ, ਵਾਈ ਮੀਡੀਆ, ਮੈਂ ਰਿਸਪੈਕਟਫੁਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ, ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਇੱਕ ਵੀ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ ਦਾ ਕਮਰਾ, ਕੋਈ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ 2-3 ਸਟੂਡੀਓ ਨੇ, ਇੱਕ ਕਮਰਾ ਵੀ ਇਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਨੋ ਇਹ ਦੇਖੋ ਪਤਾ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਬੋਲਣਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਸੱਚ ਬੋਲਣਾ ਹੈ, ਰੂਹ ਨਾਲ ਬੋਲਣਾ ਹੈ। 53 ਸਾਲ ਉਮਰ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਹੈ, ਕੋਈ ਗਰੰਟੀ ਥੋੜੀ ਹੈ ਪਲੈਨਟ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ। ਮੈਂ ਵੈਸੇ ਰੋਜ਼ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦਾ 5000 ਸਾਲ ਜੀਵਾਂਗੇ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ,
ਤੇ ਕ੍ਰਿਕਟ ਹੀ ਖੇਡਣਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਅਗਲੇ ਸਾਲ
ਛੇਲਾ ਪਾਉਣਾ ਸਾਲ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬੋਲਣਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਸੱਚ ਬੋਲੋ, ਐਡਮਿਟ ਕਰੋ। ਮਤਲਬ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਅੱਜ ਮੈਂ ਬੜਾ ਕੁਝ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੇ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ, ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ ਬਣਾ, ਮਤਲਬ ਕੀ ਬਾਤ ਹੈ, ਕਮਾਲ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਇਸ ਲਈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਹਿਣੀ ਉਹ ਸਹੀ ਹੈ।
ਭਾਜੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ credibility ਦੀ, because you again, I'm not, now I have to be watchful for my words, I am not generalizing all media, but I'm sure you agree that in the race of TRPs, clicks, ratings, credibility definitely takes a hit. I remember watching a news channel in COVID where they were showing disturbing images of dead bodies, and the title was, "Only on our channels you see these dead bodies first." Like, are we reporting a tragedy or are we further exploiting it? Like, where is the line? Who draws the line? And in the race to report first, has media lost its humanity?
Again, we don't want to generalize that, but does it happen? Yes, it happens more often than not. Because you're right, I mean, the TRP rankings, the breaking news culture, first to report, exclusive, and many times you could be, or even we could be blurring the lines. But, again, I'm not here to judge, but does that happen? As I already mentioned, it does happen. There's fierce competition in media across the globe, and this doesn't happen just in Canada or in India or in US or in Europe. We've seen scandals after scandals in Europe. We've seen so many issues in US. There's a lot of corporate world now involved now in buying media outlets in US, in Europe, in Canada, in India. So corporate, and the board of directors, it's a business for them. It's not religion, it's not passion for them. It's just another business for them. What was a tipping point for me? If you would have met me 10 years ago, this was a very different Yudhvir. I would say, okay, fine. It was definitely a passion for me. Do it with integrity, but very ambitious. 2013, 2014, why media? I should have my breakfast in New York. I would watch House of Cards. I would say, I've watched House of Cards maybe 15 times, and I would imagine being in the corridors of Washington, and all the time. And what I'm in DC, I would imagine all the time being in DC and Surrey, whereas now I'm in Mississauga. I said, what the hell are you doing here in Mississauga? I should be there. I was born for this. And this is how I would imagine, reading every single article on any major media outlet, how CNN was built, how Washington Post started, how Fox was done, Sky, every single thing. And this is the zone I was in. 2015, we launched our channel Y, and I'm in the same zone, working till 3 a.m. And, I'm talking 2015. And, there used to come a serial, and the serial was Ashoka. And I watched that, I'm sure you would know that, at 9 p.m. And I would stop everything and start watching Ashoka. And then I said, this is great, and that very well aligned with my philosophy theory at that time. My mission, the biggest empire, Ashoka, why media, this, that. Then I saw promos of Buddha Ji, the serial. I said, this Buddha Ji, this also looks like. I started watching Buddha Ji. When I started watching Buddha Ji, after that, I asked my wife, I said, what is the purpose of our life? Wow. What do you want in my life, or what do we should do? So she said something which was very, of course, there's an inherent bias in this thing, which I'm wrong because she's my wife. But anyways, she said, what? Your father, he's in heaven, he's left this planet, and he doesn't need anything from you. All you're getting is blessings, okay? Your mom, she has 3 pensions, and she hasn't asked anything. She lives in Australia. She's a teacher with a pension from, as an Australian citizen, old age pension, and then father's pension as well. Your brother, sister are doing fine. I will never tell you, I'm enjoying this house. I don't want any bigger house. We have 2 cars, all paid. Everything is fine. You know what is your purpose of life? I said, what? She said, live your life.
Absolutely.
Just live your life, Yudhvir. You've been working so hard.
I exactly know what you're saying, because remember before the show you asked me, why do you start this? Yeah. And I gave you an answer, and it came from the same thing. Why? Why in the beginning? What do I really want to do? Corporate culture, like you said, exactly. I went to, I don't know if I'll air it, I went to a sports doctor, and you know what he said? You're absolutely okay. All you need is 5 breaks in a day for a minute each, just to be with yourself, to calm you down, because you always go, and that's not healthy. So just spend time with yourself. And I was like, then I took some steps in my professional life, and I said, this is what I want to do. I want to give it back to the society. So here I am talking to a pure soul like you. Honestly, the last section of I haven't reached there. The last section of my soul talk always is the soul talk angle. Right now, I was talking to you with intensity. I wanted to question you, and hey, here we are. We already in the soul talk section without even realizing it. Let me go back to where we were and a little more, and we'll come to soul talk section. Compare with one influencer with 1 million followers and an experienced journalist. Influencer has more reach. Journalist has done all the hard work to reach where he has reached. Who is more powerful?
For someone who's a true journalist, it will never be about power or who has more influence. No. If you're a journalist, if you're a true journalist, and for me as well, it will never be about power. And it shouldn't, actually, to the point, I would say it should not be about power. Why would I think that way, that I need some sort of power? For what?
Paji, okay, take the power out of equation, but don't you need money? I mean, a flop actor makes a lot more money than a well-set journalist, right? Why do you think, how do you expect the young generation to take this path? Journalists can influencer can sit at home, make more followers, make more money. Journalists have no work-life balance, no weekends, all the struggle, chasing stories, and still they're making less money.
We can do comparisons or we can draw parallels between influencers and journalists. I'm not sure what sort of money are we talking here, but anybody who wants to, follow this profession in media, be a journalist, I'm sure their objective or their drive, they won't be driven by power, money, or anything. But if you're strictly talking in terms of finance, I think there is a decent money to be made if you're an honest journalist. There is decent money. There's still a lot of appetite for honest journalism. Do I want to become an influencer? If you would ask this question to me again 10 years, I wanted fame. Definitely, I wanted fame.
That's an honest answer.
Yeah, and even till date, I love taking pictures. Many journalists would say, maybe they're matured a lot than me. They will say, we don't want to take any pictures. I still enjoy taking pictures with celebrities as much as, as I told you.
That's us being brown.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, it's good for them. I mean, it's working. But as a journalist, no, money doesn't attract me. I need money, and you'll make decent money. I'm still telling you again the same thing. You'll make decent amount of money. I mean, of course, I don't know whether I should name that. Like, Rajdeep Sardesai. I know there are people who love him, who may not. So I don't want to use the other word. Then there is, Pranav Roy. Do you think Pranav Roy made money? He made money. Pranav, Sagarika Ghosh, Radhika, their spouses also made money. It's not that they didn't make money. And let me say another person. Okay. He was let go from NDTV.
I was about to say that. He's my favorite. Ravish Kumar.
So do you think Ravish Kumar didn't make any money? Where does Ravish Kumar live? Number one. And Ravish Kumar, what was his salary? Ask Ravish Kumar, what is your salary? Third, when he quit, actually, he wasn't let go. When he quit NDTV, he came out and he said, Seth ne khareed liya. Listen, Seth ne abhi nahi kharida. Seth ne to रिलायंस वालों ने 498 करोड़ दिया था, ठीक है ना? वो तो 20 साल पहले, आई मीन रिलायंस बॉट दैट, वो तो 20 साल पहले सेठ ने खरीद लिया था.
यूट्यूब चैनल खोलना था ना.
हाँ, यूट्यूब चैनल खोलना था, आपने खुद ही बता दिया. और पहला इंटरव्यू जाके जब उन्होंने अपने एक फ्रेंड, नाम ले भी सकते हैं, वो भी जर्नलिस्ट है, उनकी छत पर दिया, तो उनको पूछा गया कि कभी एवर आपको रवीश कुमार जी, आपको कभी भी किसी का फोन आया हो कि ये टॉपिक करो या ये ना करो? उन्होंने क्लियर बोला है, पहले इंटरव्यू में बोला है, ऊपर छत पर बैठे हैं कि नहीं, मुझे कभी मना नहीं किया गया. सो आपको तो कभी मना ही नहीं किया गया, उन्होंने पहले इंटरव्यू में बोला है. सो पैसा उन्होंने, सर ये इनको ऑल दीज जर्नलिस्ट, इनका करोड़ों रुपए का पैकेज है. जर्नलिस्ट होते हो आप, बहुत पैसा, ऐसा नहीं कि पैसा नहीं बना, आप बहुत पैसा बना सकते हो, थोड़ा बहुत इनहेरेंट बायस. लेकिन प्रॉब्लम कहाँ है कि मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि एज लॉन्ग एज आई एम स्ट्राइविंग टू बी वेरी ऑब्जेक्टिव फेयर, ठीक है, मैं अपनी तरफ से पूरी कोशिश कर रहा हूँ. गलती किसी से भी हो सकती है, थोड़ा बहुत इनहेरेंट बायस किसी में भी हो सकता है, बट अगर मैं सोच ही लूँ, मेरे लिए कोई फर्क नहीं है रिपब्लिकन्स और डेमोक्रेट्स में, लिबरल्स और कंजर्वेटिव्स में, बीजेपी और अकाली दल या कांग्रेस में, नहीं. अगर मुझे पता है कि मैं क्लियर हूँ, फिर कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, और फिर भी आप एक डिसेंट लिविंग कर सकते हो. करंटली आई एम वेयरिंग मल्टीपल हैट्स, आई एम जस्ट अ जर्नलिस्ट, आई एम द ग्रुप एडिटर, आई एम द CEO, so I am the talent, I am the strategy. So many.
Basically, you are Arvind Kejriwal. Talking about Arvind Kejriwal, Padi, we'll come to the Canadian politics. A very interesting trend which has been going on I think Justin Trudeau started this, that closer to the elections, you'll see these guys in mandirs, gurdwaras, community events and all. And the most trending is now cricket fields. They're on the cricket fields to see so much cricket. Do you actually think they care about our community, or they definitely care about the huge vote bank coming from our community?
I've said this very openly on my radio and TV shows, I won't vote a politician or an elected leader just because they come to any religious place or just because they're watching cricket or they say namaste, salam, walaikum, sat sri akal, which is fine. They're more than welcome to come at our religious places, watch cricket and speak in our language. That's fine. But my question to you is, what are you doing for your constituents? What are you doing for the city, province, or the country?
Talking about speaking in their language, did you see recent Modi's speech in Punjab?
Yeah, I mean, okay, you come to Punjab, you're wearing a green turban there, you're talking in Punjabi, or of course, one of the things, democracy, for lack of any other better system right now, it's the thing. Because I don't think so. I would want to live in a country where there's monarchy or dictatorship or the communist system for now. So democracy for now, there's no other better system. But of course, democracy has its own challenges as well.
I think we've spoken enough about politics, credibility, responsibilities. Before I end with the soul talk angle, let's soften it a little bit. Let me ask you some quick questions. Sure. Rapid fire. First thing which comes to your mind. No diplomatic answers. One word answers.
Do you think I've been diplomatic?
No, you've just been a tenured journalist. That's it.
Go ahead, please.
All right. Independent media or profitable media?
Independent.
Breaking first or reporting correctly?
Reporting correctly.
TV or YouTube?
TV.
Same question if I would have asked you 20 years back. TV or YouTube?
Still TV.
The most prepared personality you've ever interviewed?
Actually, there are many. Are you saying celebrity?
The most prepared. No, any personality.
Any personality.
Could be a politician, could be a celebrity.
It could be a bit controversial. Some people do not like her anymore. I think Kathleen Wynne.
The most misunderstood personality you've ever interviewed?
Misunderstood, I would say Shah Rukh Khan. Because I was also given this impression that Shah Rukh Khan, he doesn't talk nicely to the journalist.
He does. He's such a good orator. You've interviewed him.
Yeah, you've introduced, so you know.
So amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. But actually, yeah. So he gave that most respect to the point that the interview got cut off while I was interviewing him. But he wanted to carry on with the interview. So I think yeah. So I don't think so. I was given this impression that he's a snob or something. Nothing like that. He's not.
Interesting one. Who surprised you the most right when the camera stopped rolling?
I would say Diljit Dosanjh. Yeah, because when I interviewed him before the interview, he was very emotional. So I won't reveal too much details there. It's not nice because what is off the record, it's off the record. It was very emotional. Then I had to make him a bit comfortable. But then when the camera started rolling, it was a total different Diljit Dosanjh, which in a good way, I'm saying.
Who's still in your interview list?
Mark Carney and Trump.
What Trump? That would be so much fun. What would be your first question to Trump?
When did you join politics?
In 2015, you bewaited everyone not to vote, but they did. That's why you joined politics. One headline for today's media industry.
Media has, if you're not credible, if you're not fair, you're not media.
One headline for your own journey.
I'll say just 2 words: love and gratitude.
Aji, thank you so much for your honest answers, and the Trump one was the best one. But I'll ask you a couple of soul talk questions. They say it's always lonely at the top, right? And you spoke about sacrifices. What is that cost behind this empire, which only your family knows and no one else?
I think I'll address both these things. You're right. I've listened to many people who are successful. They say it's lonely at the top. I haven't reached that top. Let me tell you that. Because you have to stay connected. ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਚ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਾ ਫਿਰ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਕਹਿ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਬੁਲਾਇਆ ਮੇਰੇ ਲਈ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਭਵ ਜੀ ਔਰ ਨਿੱਕੀ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਉੱਪਰ ਕੋਈ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚਾਹੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਪੁੱਛ ਕੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸਰ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਆਪਾਂ ਚੱਲਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਚਾਹੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਾਣੀ ਦਾ ਗਲਾਸ ਪਿਲਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਜੋ એનર્ਜੀ ਜੋ ਵਾਈਬ ਜੋ ਪਿਆਰ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਉੱਪਰ ਕੋਈ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਸੋ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਨੈਕਟਡ ਆ ਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਇੰਨੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਇਹ ਵਾਈਬ, ਇਹ ਇੰਟਰਵਿਊ ਕਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਭੁੱਲੇਗਾ। ਜਦ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਦਾਂ ਕਨੈਕਟਡ ਆ ਨਾ, ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਲੋਨਲੀ ਐਟ ਦਾ ਟੌਪ, ਉਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਸਿਨੈਰੀਓ ਨਹੀਂ ਆ। ਮੈਂ ਅੱਜ ਵੀ ਆਈ ਐਮ ਕਨੈਕਟਡ with my roots. So I'm so grateful when you're building all these connections, there is no question of being lonely. No. I'm building connections from my heart, from my soul. Soul talk. When what is soul? What is soul? Okay, by the way, where is this soul? Okay, let me ask you, what is soul? What is soul? Soul ਕੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਦੀਆਂ ਮੈਮਰੀਜ਼, ਮੂਮੈਂਟਸ, ਸਾਡੇ ਪ੍ਰਿੰਸੀਪਲ, ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਵੈਲਿਊਜ਼, ਉਹ ਸੋਲ ਹੈ। ਉਹ ਸੋਲ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹ ਸੋਲ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਅਲਾਈਵ ਹੈ, ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੈਮਰੀਜ਼ ਨੇ, ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਇਮੋਸ਼ਨਸ ਨੇ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਵੈਲਿਊ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ। ਸੋਲ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਕਿ ਯੁੱਧਵੀਰ ਜਸਵਾਲ ਨੂੰ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਈਗੋ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਈਵੈਂਟ ਤੇ ਗਿਆ ਹਾਂ, ਅੱਛਾ ਜੀ ਮਾਈਕ ਤੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਨਾਮ ਬੋਲਿਆ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬੁਲਾਇਆ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਮਾਈਕ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ। ਉਹ ਈਗੋ ਹੈ ਸਾਡੇ ਅੰਦਰ, ਸਾਡਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਵਾਈ ਮੀਡੀਆ ਦਾ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਲੋਗੋ ਲੱਗਾ ਹੈ, ਕੀ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਹੈ। ਉਹ ਸੋਲ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ, ਉਹ ਸਾਡੀ ਈਗੋ ਨੂੰ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋਲ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ, ਸੋਲ ਨੂੰ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਅਸੀਂ ਬੈਠੇ ਹਾਂ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਿਆਰ ਨਾਲ ਚਾਹ ਪਿਲਾਈ ਹੈ, ਕੌਫੀ ਪੁੱਛੀ ਹੈ, ਪਾਣੀ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਹੈ, ਸੋਲ ਤਾਂ ਇਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹੈ। ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਨੈਕਟਡ ਆ, ਲੋਨਲੀ ਹੋਣ ਦਾ ਸਵਾਲ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਉੱਠਦਾ। ਮੈਂ ਸ਼ਾਹ ਰੁਖ ਖਾਨ ਦੀ ਮੂਵੀ ਤੇ ਸੋਨੂ ਨਿਗਮ ਦਾ ਗਾਣਾ ਅਮੰਗ ਮੈਨੀ ਆਫ ਮਾਈ ਫੇਵਰਿਟ ਸੌਂਗਸ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ, ਕੱਲ ਹੋ ਨਾ ਹੋ, ਉਸ ਹਾਥ ਕੋ ਥਾਮ ਲੋ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਕੱਲ ਹੋ ਨਾ ਹੋ। ਸੋ ਮੈਂ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲਾ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਂਦਾ, ਮੈਂ ਕੁੱਟ ਕੇ ਜੱਫੀ ਪਾ ਲੈਣਾ। ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਇਹਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ। ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਮਾਈ ਕੀ ਹੈ? ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲੇ ਲੋਕ, ਚਾਹੇ ਉਹ ਦੋ ਨੇ, ਬੰਦਾ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਜੀ ਇੱਕ ਮੇਰੇ ਮਦਰ ਹੈ, ਇੱਕ ਮੇਰੀ ਸਿਸਟਰ ਹੈ, ਹੋਰ ਮੇਰੇ ਵਿਆਹ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ, ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ, ਦੋ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਦੋ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੈ। ਸਰ 5 ਹੋ ਗਏ, ਵਧੀਆ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ, 10 ਹੋ ਗਏ, ਚੰਗੀ। ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲੇ ਲੋਕ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਸੋਲ ਨਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੋਚ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, ਫਿਰ ਦਿਮਾਗ ਨਾਲ ਸੋਚ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, ਕੁਝ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਫਿਰ ਥੋੜਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਲਈ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਲੋਨਲੀ ਵਾਲਾ ਕੰਸੈਪਟ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ 'ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਏਗਾ।
What is that cost, that sacrifice which you made to make all this, which only your family knows and no one else?
ਟਾਈਮ, ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੰਮ ਤੇ ਲਗਾਇਆ, ਔਰ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਹੈ, ਆਈ ਮਸਟ ਐਡਮਿਟ ਦਿਸ, ਇਹ ਕਨਫੈਸ਼ਨ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ, ਐਡਮਿਸ਼ਨ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ, ਵਟਐਵਰ, ਸੱਚ ਹੈ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ। ਉਹ ਟਾਈਮ ਦੇਖੋ ਜੀ, ਟਾਈਮ ਵੀ ਆਰ ਸੈਕਰੀਫਾਈਸਿੰਗ ਆਰ ਟਾਈਮ। ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਬੜੀ ਇਨਵੈਸਟਮੈਂਟ ਤਾਂ ਟਾਈਮ ਦੀ ਹੈ। the time that I could have spent with my father, with my mother. And the biggest sacrifice, I was in India, and that time my dad was still in India, and I was coming back. I stayed there for only 7 or 8 days, and my birthday was about 4 days ahead, and my dad said, why don't you stay somewhere for your birthday? So I said no. At that time, you know what, we take our parents, we take our family members for granted. So at that time, what happened was that we have a park right in front of our house, and while I was leaving for the airport, and I was in tears. Of course, I would cry, but it was very different. So I was in tears, and then the car moved this to one park to another park, and off we go for almost good half an hour, 45 minutes. I was crying, and because my soul knew that your ambition, you are leaving this soul. You will not meet in this shape or form, because after that my father, he met with an accident, he passed away. So the biggest sacrifice is we're doing time, the time that we could have spent with our family members, our father, mother, siblings, wife or husband or partner, our children, our friends. So that I think that, and I'm trying to balance that. So rest, everything will fall in place. Time will never come back.
My final soul talk question with Paji, you, as I said, it's been more than 2 decades. You have interviewed people, celebrities, you name it. You've seen people with money, fame, influence, everything from very close angles. What have you learned being on the other side of the camera about human beings, what others would never be able to learn about those people?
I think those who really connect well, they're very down to earth. They do not take their title or the financial accomplishment they made to their head. So they're very down to earth, very humble. So that is something I think I've learned. And the other aspect is just like I'm not saying this because you're interviewing. It's very important. They're very good listeners as well. Despite being so accomplished, most of them, they are good learners, they are very good listeners. Good listening doesn't mean I'm waiting for my turn to answer or I'm waiting for my turn to speak. Listen, they're very good listeners. So when you're talking to them, they listen to you. So these are the things that I've learned, and those who are living in gratitude, I think they connect very well.
And lastly, I'll finish on a funny note.
Big name Yudhvir Jaswal, founder, media figure, a renowned face now in Canadian television, the final authority at Y Media. Who tells Yudhvir Jaswal that Yudhvir Jaswal, you're wrong?
Of course, my wife Preeti. I mean, she's the boss at home and at work too. And let me say this, that yes, I'm blessed. Thanks for using all those adjectives for me, but I know I have my own challenges. I have many challenges. I have my own challenges. I'm just trying to work on all those challenges. And who tells Yudhvir Jaswal who is the final authority? Yes, I'm not trying to please anyone here. Of course, I mean, the final authority is my wife. She's the one who keeps me grounded. I tell her all the time, you're full of wisdom, which, I mean, okay, even if I say, okay, I have knowledge, intelligence, or genius, wisdom.
Wisdom.
She's at peace all the time. She's at peace. She doesn't need anything.
Thank you, Paji. It went pretty long, but I think I enjoyed every bit of it. And it was such a pleasure to have you here. Respect.
Thank you so much for all the audience who are watching. Thank you so much for utmost gratitude. There are only 2 words from my side. It's all love for everyone, gratitude for everyone. Thank you so much. And Bhavji, to you and Nikki ji, beautiful studio, beautiful house, beautiful family. You are blessed. And thank you so much for all the love. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Before we end, one thing this conversation reminded me is that the biggest challenge we are facing today is not the lack of information. It's who deserves our trust. Be it the politicians, the media, the journalists, the influencers, or even the content we scroll on our phone all day. Maybe the real responsibility does not belong only to the journalists. It belongs to all of us. To think more, to question more, and never stop seeking the truth. This is Bhav signing off from Show Talk with Bhav. Thank you for watching.